Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Manachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Vishnu Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Shtotra Shata Shri Srimad Bhagavad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Jaya Vishnu Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtotra Shata Shri Srimad Bhagavad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Nama Acharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopanasham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navadvip Dham Ki Jai, Ganga Yamuna Maya Ki Jai, Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai, Bhakti Dev Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. So we're celebrating the appearance day of Lord Chaitanya Mahāprabhu. So we'll read from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi, Lila, Chapter 1, Spiritual Masters, Text 2. So please repeat after me. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All right, please repeat after me. Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gododaya Pushpavanto Chitro Shun Del Tamonudo Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gododaya Pushpavanto Chitro Shun Del Tamonudo Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gododaya Pushpavanto Chitra Shanda Tamonudo Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gododaya Pushpavanto Chitra Shanda Tamonudo Right. Vande, I offer my respectful obeisances. Śrī Krishna Chaitanya, to Lord Śrī Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, unto Lord Nityananda, Saha Uditao, simultaneously arisen, Goda Udaye, on the eastern horizon of Goda, Pushpavantao, the sun and the moon together, Chitrao, wonderful, Shamdao, bestowing benediction, Tamanudao, dissipating darkness. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I offer my respectful obeisances under Śrī Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are like the sun and moon. They have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Goda to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all. Om Gyanti Vrandasya Gananjana Shavakaya Chakshulan Viditam Nina Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Mukam Gutivachalan Pungam Nangai Tegirim Yakripadamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinitarinam Banchakopatri Vishcha Kripasanibiyo Chapatiranam Pavanebyo Vaishnavebyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Vedikadadhar Shivasri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. All right, so I'll read the next one. What the Upanishads describe as impersonal Brahman is but the effulgence of his body, and the Lord, known as the Supersoul, is but his localized plenary portion. Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself, full with 6 opulences. He is the absolute truth, and no other truth is greater than or equal to him. So the next verse is benediction. So for the May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Shachi Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost chambers of your heart. Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, he has appeared in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before, the most sublime and radiant mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. Desiring to understand the glory of Radharani's love, the wonderful qualities in him that she alone relishes through her love, and the happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love, the Supreme Lord Hari, richly endowed with her emotions, appeared from the womb of Srimati Shachi Devi, as the moon appeared from the ocean. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he's the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, and he's informing us of the identity of Lord Chaitanya Mahāprabhu, glories of Chaitanya Mahāprabhu. And that, the reason he appeared, or reasons he appeared. And one is to bestow benediction upon everyone, the first one would dissipate the darkness of ignorance, and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon everyone. Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahāprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu appeared. And then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is explaining how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That effulgence that the Upanishads talk about, that impersonal effulgence, personal Brahman is but the effulgence of his body. And the Lord known as the Super-Soul is but his localized plenary portion. So he's Krishna, full of six opulences, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appearing. And further, he's coming to bestow his causeless mercy in this age of Kali by offering something that's never been offered before by previous incarnations. That is the mellow of devotion, the sublime and radiant mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a extremely special and unique incarnation coming to this world. And again, he's giving what other incarnations have not given before, very freely. So when we talk about can you turn that off, please? When we talk about giving something freely, still, even though it may be given freely, we have to accept it. It's not that something's given, like if we come up to, if you go up to somebody, you try to give them a check for $8 million. So here, take this check. Now, of course, most people will accept that. They'll go, okay, great. You know, I've been waiting for an $8 million check. You know, I could quit my job, retire to Bali, enjoy my life with my wife or whoever. Not wonderful. But still, you have to accept it. You may be so mentally deranged that you cannot accept it. You may take the check and you think, oh, is this guy really serious? Or you may be so intoxicated you don't know what the check is. You rip it up and you don't know. If you're deranged, you're deranged. You do all types of stupid things in a deranged state. Similarly, a child, you may give a child a diamond. But what is a child going to do with the diamond? Oh, what is this? You know, a 3-year-old child, what are they going to do with it? They don't know what to do with it. Yeah. Because they don't understand what a diamond is or what to do with it. So in other words, just the ability to recognize the importance of Krishna consciousness is a very important step. And in achieving, getting closer to achieving the goal. If someone doesn't understand the importance of it, then they go, what is this? You know, like they neglect it, they throw it away. Just like that shloka about the holy name, right? It's, they see, it's just, what is it? Broken glass. They just see it as broken glass. Yeah, the holy. But they're seeing it as something invaluable. It's just like broken glass. The holy name of Krishna. They're not seeing it as what it's for, the jewel that it is. So, how are we to see if our vision is blurred by ignorance, or if our understanding is blurred by ignorance or illusion? We won't be able to see. So how do we see? Therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and his own the 8 instructions he wrote, or he said to write, that is, so in other words, they're very important. It says, Chaito Darpana Marjanam. Chaito Darpana Marjanam. The consciousness or the mirror of the heart needs to be cleansed by the hearing and chanting of Krishna's holy name. So by the cleansing of the consciousness, we're able to see more and more the value of Krishna consciousness. We're able to understand the value of Krishna consciousness, and then we're able to make steady progress to the goal, because if we understand the importance of something, then we'll strive for that. So that comes through purification of the consciousness. So again, although we have been given the gift of Krishna consciousness very freely by Chaitanya Mahāprabhu and by his representatives, we have to accept the gift. And as Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains in his Navadvip Dham Mahatmya, the glories of Sri Navadvip Dham, he's explaining the glories. He says that anyone who chants the names of Gaur Nitai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda, says that Krishna Prem comes looking for them. Love of Krishna comes looking for them. So sometimes someone may wonder that, okay, well, if I'm chanting the names of Gaur Nitai, Krishna Prem's coming looking for me, but I'm not feeling that Krishna Prem, that love for Krishna. And that is due to the living entity or the person engaged in Krishna consciousness committing offenses. It means they're not accepting the gift. By committing offenses to the holy name of Krishna, by committing offenses to the Vaishnavas and so on, they're not accepting the gift of Krishna Prema, the gift of Krishna consciousness that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming to give. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada would stress in his initiations, when he would initiate others, he would say, you should chant the holy names of the Lord in a non-offensive way. And that's one of the stages of progress. We understand that there are 10 offenses, and then we try to give them up. So yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming to give this pure devotional service in this Kali Yuga. And then in text 5, so we could say that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's the external feature of his mission, to give Krishna consciousness to others. He's traveling through South Africa. No, it's a joke. He's traveling through South India. He's traveling around. And he's giving Krishna consciousness to everyone freely. So that's external aspect of his mission. Now, when we say external, that doesn't mean less important. External just means what he's doing for the people of Kali Yuga. Now, in text 5, it's describing some of his internal. In text 6, it's describing some of the internal reasons why Krishna has come in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it says, the loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, so they're one in their identity. Okay, try to understand, right? We'll try to understand. They're one in their identity. They separated themselves eternally. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. And then 6, desiring to understand the glory of Radharani's love, the wonderful qualities in him that she alone relishes through her love, and the happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love, the Supreme Lord Hari richly endowed with her emotions, appeared from the womb of Srimati Shachi Devi, as the moon appeared from the ocean. So Krishna wanted to understand, or he wanted to not just understand, but wanted to relish the experience of being a devotee, and specifically in the topmost devotee, Srimati Radharani. So therefore he appeared as Chaitanya Mahāprabhu. So this is the internal reason. So in relation to understanding Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's internal mood, because it's the mood of Srimati Radharani, in the Nectar of Devotion, Sankarshan, do you think you could get me that Nectar of Devotion from the audio room? It's, yeah, I forgot. What can I say? I forgot. Yeah. That's true. Gradually. Time and tide wait for no one. Yeah. All right, there's the Nectar Devotion. So Nectar Devotion, chapter 22, explains, let's see here. Yeah. Chapter 22. So the qualities of Krishna further explained. So specifically, we're looking at number 32, compassionate. So we'll read a little bit from this section. A person who is unable to bear another's distress is called compassionate. So there's people, they just have a really hard time tolerating somebody else suffering, so they want to do something. On the material plane or spiritual plane, they want to do something to help people. Krishna's compassion for distressed persons was exhibited when he released all of the kings imprisoned by Magadendra. While dying, grandfather Bhishma prayed to Krishna and described him as the sun which eradicated darkness. The kings imprisoned by Magadendra were put into dark cells, and when Krishna appeared there, their darkness immediately disappeared, just as if the sun had arisen. In other words, although Magadendra was able to imprison so many kings, upon the appearance of Krishna, they were all released. Krishna released the kings out of his sincere compassion for them. Krishna's compassion was also exhibited when grandfather Bhishma was lying on the bed of arrows which had been shot through his body. While lying in this position, Bhishma was very anxious to see Krishna, and thus Krishna appeared there. Upon seeing the pitiable condition of Bhishma, Krishna began speaking with tears in his eyes. Not only was he shedding tears, but he also forgot himself in his compassion. Therefore, instead of offering obeisances to Krishna directly, devotees offer obeisances to his compassionate nature. Actually, because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is very difficult to approach him. But the devotees, taking advantage of his compassionate nature, which is represented by Radharani, always pray to Radharani for Krishna's compassion. So, in some places, Srila Prabhu would say I think they said the soft-hearted, tender counterpart of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srimati Radharani. So, Krishna is in the mood of Radharani. So, in other words, he is in the mood of Radharani, as Srimati Radharani, as Srila Prabhupada explains towards the end of this reading, is that of compassion. She has deep compassion, very compassionate nature. And therefore devotees, and it's very difficult to approach Krishna, therefore devotees, they pray to Srimati Radharani for Krishna's compassion. The principle of not approaching Krishna directly, but through his pure devotees. So in relation to that, because we're talking about the internal and external missions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the Antya Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see chapter 3, Antya Lila chapter 3, the glories of Haridas Thakur, text 51. So just read a little bit. How will these yavanas be delivered? Yavanas be delivered. To my great unhappiness, I do not see any way. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaking to Haridas Thakur. Purport: this verse reveals the significance of Lord Chaitanya's appearance as Patita Pavan, the deliverer of all the fallen souls. Srila Narottam Das Thakur sings, Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatar, O Lord, you have appeared just to deliver all the fallen souls. So in other words, that compassionate nature, that nature of Srimati Radha, she wants to deliver everyone. And among all the fallen souls, I am the lowest. How Śrī Krishna Caitanya Mahāprabhu was always thinking about the deliverance of the fallen souls is shown by the statement, Eka Dukkha Par, it is my great unhappiness. This statement indicates that Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself, is always very unhappy to see the fallen souls in the material world. Therefore, he himself comes as he is, or he comes as a devotee in the form of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu to deliver love of Krishna directly to the fallen souls. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. Śrī Krishna Caitanya Mahāprabhu, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is so merciful that he not only gives knowledge of Krishna, but by his practical activities teaches everyone how to love Krishna. So he comes to teach us how to be a devotee. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Those who are following in the footsteps of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu should take the Lord's mission most seriously. So yeah, we want to follow in the footsteps of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We want to follow in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami. We want to follow in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada. It doesn't mean to imitate them, but it means to follow their path. As the Srimad Bhagavatam says that by the rising and the setting of the sun, happens every day, everyone's life is diminished. The duration of one's life is diminished. But those who hear besides those who hear and chant about Krishna. So everyone is on that path. They're on a particular path. Path of death. Time and tide wait for none. So whatever time is used in Krishna consciousness, that is to our ultimate profit, that is to our eternal profit. And whatever is not used in Krishna consciousness, that is our loss. So we should try to make a difference in the world, not just die, like Srila Prabhupada would say, die like cats and dogs, without understanding the mission of the human form of life, and without making a difference in the world. Just a few days ago, or actually I just heard yesterday, my father's father, my grandfather, he died. Surprise, surprise, people die. He probably didn't think he was going to die, because a lot of people don't think they're going to die, but he died. And I was speaking with my father about it yesterday. He seemed very disturbed. It's his father. And of course, there's some emotional attachment there in family members. But I was saying, when is his funeral? And I said, well, obviously everybody has a funeral. And then my father said, no, not everybody has a funeral. I said, oh, that's true. And I thought about it more, and there's people who don't have really friends or don't have family members who will attend their funeral. Or of course there's these situations where, yeah, due to circumstances, some freak accident or this, and there's no funerals. But there's a number of people who don't have friends, don't have family, and they think they just don't put on a funeral, who will show up. So he was like that. He was a bit of a loner. And it is true. But we should note that conversation that I had with my father, that we have with people sometimes. Oh, did you hear about so and so? That conversation happens with it. That we will be a topic of conversation amongst people at one point. Oh, did you hear about so and so? So before that time, we should try to do something for the pleasure of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, and for the deliverance of the conditioned souls. We should try to do something. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada says we should take it most seriously. In this age of Kali, people are gradually becoming less than animals. Whew. Because Prabhupada would usually say animals, he says less. Nevertheless, although they are eating the flesh of cows and are envious of Brahminical culture, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu was considering how to deliver them from the horrible condition of life. Thus he asked all Indians to take up his mission. Bharati bhumite hoila manusya janma yar janme sar taka kari kara para upakar. So Prabhupada, he calls out to the Indians. He says that he would say sometimes, I'm just one Indian, and I came and I spread Krishna consciousness far and wide. So he's petitioning all the Indians and saying, so you should do the same thing. You should try to. But of course, it's the duty of everyone. It is therefore the duty of every advanced and cultured Indian to take this cause very seriously. So like that, the purport goes on. So then Haridas Thakur, in the next verse, he replies, My dear Lord, do not be in anxiety, do not be unhappy to see the condition of the Yavanas in material existence. Purport. These words of Haridas Thakur are just befitting a devotee who has dedicated his life and soul to the service of the Lord. When the Lord is unhappy because of the condition of the fallen souls, the devotee consoles him, saying, My dear Lord, do not be in anxiety. This is service. Everyone should adopt the cause of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu to try to relieve him from the anxiety he feels. This is actually service to the Lord. One who tries to relieve Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu's anxiety for the fallen souls is certainly a most dear and confidential devotee of the Lord. To blaspheme such a devotee is trying his best to spread the cold of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is the greatest offense. One who does so is simply awaiting punishment for his envy. So these two things, the external mission of spreading Krishna consciousness and the internal mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu of relishing the ecstasy of Krishna consciousness, again, that is what he's coming to teach us, and we're supposed to follow in his footsteps. So we should engage in the external mission of preaching Krishna consciousness and the internal mission of advancing in Krishna consciousness, our own consciousness. And the two, they work together. So, as it said in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the first canto, Shushu Shoshadanasya Vasudeva Kataruchihi, that by serving great souls, great service is done, and one gains a taste for hearing about Krishna. So, so if we engage ourselves in the service of Srila Prabhupada and the service of the previous acharyas by spreading Krishna consciousness, that will help us in our getting a taste for Krishna consciousness. And this way they work together, the external and internal mission. And the ecstasy that one experiences while giving Krishna consciousness to others is also special, and it's unique to the material world, because in the spiritual world everybody's a devotee. In the material world, there's plenty of opportunities to give Krishna consciousness to others. When Bhavananda got initiated by Srila Prabhupada, he was a little confused, because Bhava means material existence and Ananda means bliss. So it means the bliss of material existence. So then he went to Srila Prabhupada and he said, Prabhupada, what does this mean? What does it mean, the bliss of material existence? And then Srila Prabhupada said, yes, the bliss of the material existence is preaching Krishna consciousness. So yes, there's plenty of opportunities, and when we would go more regularly downtown on Harinam, Friday nights, at the end of the Harinam, Bhajanarayan Swami, he would have the wampers and he would say Harinam Ki Jai, saving all the Jagais and Madais Ki Jai, of which there is no shortage. So there's no shortage. Or as sometimes devotees say, there's no unemployment problems within ISKCON. So, internally, we chant, we read, we try to worship, and then externally we try to give. And this is Chaitanya Mahāprabhu came to show us this. So does anybody have any? So it's his appearance day today. We're celebrating, and it's a special day. We could pray and meditate on Lord Chaitanya to get his blessings. So does anybody have any question or comment? Hare Krishna. Yes.
The verse that you quoted, or that you cited, and we couldn't remember it, I remembered it.
Okay.
Ho dukkam mahadukkam dukkha dukkadam yatha tasyat dukkam dukkadam yatha. I forget the Sanskrit. Alas, what sorrow, what great pain, the worst calamity, for people to forget the holy name of Sri Hari. Although the name's a priceless gem, mere broken glass they see.
Yeah.
The holy name of Sri Hari is surely all that be.
Yeah, so just like you have Dhruva Maharaj, he when he finally got darshan of Lord Vishnu touched his head with the conch. He was a young boy; he didn't have time to. Sometimes it's explained like that. He didn't have time to study Sanskrit and all these things. So he was a young boy, didn't exactly know how to pray. So then he touched him with the conch shell, and then he was able to offer so many prayers. And one of those prayers, he says that he was searching for broken glass in the form of a greater kingdom than his great-grandfather and so on. But now he has obtained the darshan of Vishnu, which he says like a divya ratna, like a divine jewel. So he says, I don't want, he doesn't want this broken glass. So, yeah, the chanting of Krishna's names, it really helps us get clarity in relation to understand the importance of things and the insignificance of things. Like Srila Prabhupada gave an example sometime, at least I don't know how often, but he gave the example that if you were to engage in like the stock market and then you were to become extremely wealthy around noontime, like $4 billion or something, you're like, yeah, I'm wealthy, I made it. And then just right in the evening, everything just crashes and you just you lose everything. So you could say, yeah, you're a billionaire for this short time, but later it all crashed, in the same day. So that example would be given in relation to this life. People, they build so much, but it's all taken. So ultimately, what's the value? Ultimately. So any other question? Yes.
Let me ask the standard question. The reason you so-called spiritualists are feeling frustrated is because you have an artificial expectation. You've created this mindset that you should be becoming happier and happier and happier, or you should be so-called growing in spiritual life, or all this stuff. But it's all artificial. And if you just accept that life has happiness and it has distress, so if you accept that going into the game, you don't expect to have uninterrupted happiness. You're going to have a mix, and that's just life. And if you accept that that's the ride you're on, you're not in all this anxiety and sense of not getting the full deal. You follow? It's just a mental adjustment because you've got you're imposing an artificial expectation on the material nature and life. Be happy for what you get and tolerate your misery.
Okay. Would you like to say something, Prabhu, about that? Seems like you have something you'd like to say.
So that's actually a very, I think, a common view. People looking at us from the outside who haven't really experienced Krishna consciousness. They're looking at it through the lens of, the cult, and my cousin was into that, and But if one actually takes the time, number one, to come to the temple and experience the kirtan and see and talk to some of the devotees, you can see that this happiness is not artificial and it's not temporary. I mean, it actually lasts. And most importantly, we have seniors, for Srila Prabhupada and other acharyas, who are exemplars of this and showed by their very lives how they could remain steady and even joyful in great difficult times. So it's simply a jaundiced view, and it's not real. They're taking the instruction of their conditioned mind as the final arbiter of this whole thing.
So you're saying they're like jackals, and they're just saying, oh, the grapes are sour. But if you actually experience it, hey, that was something. It was something lasting and spiritual, and I want more of it.
Yeah, we don't expect people to accept that blindly. We say you could experiment with it yourself. So that's there. But as Javeda Prabhu was mentioning, the idea of trying, but when we say try, you actually have to try. Can't like, oh yeah, I tried that. Like Javeda Prabhu's, he talks about his brother one time, with all due respect, dear brother. But he just said, his brother said, "All right, I'll try chanting Hare Krishna." I think he chanted for 5 minutes. He's like, "Oh, nothing happened," you know. So you got to put in a good try over time. And there was somebody at the lounge recently, and then I tell you, I was talking. She said, "Yeah." She said, "Yeah, I didn't really feel anything, you know, at the kirtan." And I said, "Like nothing?" She said, "Well, something." And I said, "Well, you know, give it a little time. It's like your first kirtan, you know, it takes a little time to." So
anything of value,
yeah,
you don't get cheaply.
yeah. Okay, do it, money.
Thank you for a nice class, Balaram Prabhu. You read this Adi Lila, the 5th text. In this text it says, although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, previously they separated themselves. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Śrī Krishna Chaitanya. So it seems like Radha and Krishna are one, but they separate, then they reunite again, separate and reunite. Can you please comment on that for better understanding?
Well, you could be thinking about this verse for a long time. The greatest thinkers and how you supposed to understand this. There was one person. He was in India, and he met one disciple of Srila Prabhupada. I think it was a Chutananda Prabhu Swami at the time, and they had a conversation. Is it that Chaitanya Mahāprabhu comes first, or is it that Radha and Krishna come first? And he was explaining how he thought that it was Chaitanya Mahāprabhu came first, and then Radha Krishna. Does anyone remember this explanation? I remember. And then, let's see if I remember. And then Srila Prabhupada, because he was comparing Chaitanya Mahāprabhu to be, I think, like, or yeah, this is what he said. He said, "What's better, a rasagula or just sugar? What's better? You know, like if I give you a bowl of sugar or if I give you rasagula, you know, people take the rasagula. It's better, you know." There was one time Srila Prabhupada, right in front of his strict, heavy-duty sannyasis, you know, Prabhupada wanted a sweet, apparently, and devotees couldn't provide it for whatever reason. So Prabhupada said, "All right, just bring a bowl of sugar." So then the devotees brought a bowl of sugar, and Prabhupada got a pori, and he put some sugar in the pori. He rolled it up, and he chewed it, you know. And while he was chewing, you could hear the sugar. All the sannyasis were. But if you give someone sugar rasagula, you could understand how, you know, people think rasagula is better. So there, the man was saying, therefore Chaitanya, he's like a rasagula, like that. So Chutananda, he went back to Srila Prabhupada and said, "Prabhupada, how do I, you know, what am I supposed to say about this?" And then Srila Prabhupada said, "Okay, fine, you know, he may say that rasagula, but before a rasagula is a rasagula, there's ingredients before. There's the sugar, there's these milk, there's other ingredients to make the rasagula. So therefore, Radha and Krishna are before." Now, when we say before, and they were, how does it say? They were one, but then they separated. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Śrī Krishna Chaitanya. But we also understand, or we try to understand, that Chaitanya Mahāprabhu as a transcendental personality is eternal. Like you have in the spiritual world, in a corner of, right, when you look at the Bhagavatam cover, you see Chaitanya Mahāprabhu and his associates dancing. It's an eternal thing. So, but at least we see that within this material world, they've united and come to this material world. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he's Krishna, but he's also Srimati Radharani in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So in that Radharani, so in that way they've combined in this material world to, display their pastimes and so on. Okay, sure.
Prabhupada says in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, he asks a similar question. He says, you have the sun and the sunlight. Which came first? As soon as you have the sun, you have the sunlight. So on one hand, you can't say one of them is first. Sun, sunlight. At the same time, logically, the sun came first and therefore you have the sunlight. And Shivaram Maharaj, quoting that, I was listening to a class yesterday, he says, Krishna's eternally existing, Radharani's eternally existing as individuals, and they are eternally existing combined. So, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur say, I have an idea of Krishna Tattva, but Radharani Tattva I cannot conceive of. So you can have an idea logically, and you can explain it to understand fuller their glories. But the idea that we're going to wrap our little pea brain and fully understand, it's inconceivable to them. Radharani gets more beautiful, Krishna gets more beautiful. And because Krishna gets more beautiful, Radharani gets more beautiful. And it goes on eternally. Well, I don't understand. Well, who are you? But those are the analogies Balaram gave, and that one about the sun and the sunlight, and how they're all existing eternally. Figure that one out.
Yeah, so thinking about this verse, which was...
When you wrap your mind around it,
Yes. Can you pass the mic? Tapas is going to get mad at us. Tapas is going to get mad at us.
This is like a follow-up question to the like the happiness is like artificial and things like that. So I mean, even when we pray, we chant, we like in the everyday, everyone has their own set of struggles, problems, miseries, challenges. So what do you comment on that?
Well, I mean, just because one becomes a devotee Krishna doesn't say that, yes, now everything's going to be absolutely easy. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur makes an interesting comment. He has all these quotes. He said, those who find themselves favored by God will see their path set with thorns. It's like, oh my God. See their path set with thorns. It's Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It's just like, but these, like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says these challenges that because if we look at our life as service to Krishna and we look at challenges that come, so if we are going through those challenges in Krishna consciousness, then we are then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says these challenges become the source of pleasure because I'm doing this for Krishna. I'm taking on this difficulty for Krishna. I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for the pleasure of Krishna, the beloved Krishna, wonderful Krishna. Just like you have a man slugging away in Mumbai, working like a donkey. Bajranath says. I was trying to figure out the word. What was that word? Donkey. Yeah. He's suffering. He's struggling. He's having a hard time. I mean, and we're not talking about, in a air conditioned office. He's hard labor, manual labor, not getting paid that much. But whatever he's getting paid, he's sending it back to his wife and his children, and then the wife sends him a picture of a little kid with a new pair of shoes or whatever, and then you think, okay, yeah, it's all worth it. I'm feeling some. Of course, this is relatively some pious family stuff going on, but if so similarly, I mean, it's a good. So similarly, we can look at that in relation to Krishna consciousness, that whatever challenges we are undergoing, we're doing that for Krishna. We're doing that for a higher cause. Whereas in material existence, okay, you may suffer for others or this or that, but it's not for the greatest goal. So devotees have to suffer and non-devotees have to suffer, but devotees are suffering for the greatest goal. And ultimately all that suffering is completely gone and replaced with the happiness of Krishna consciousness. All right, so I think she's going to be opening, so. Okay. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu ki jai.